Thank you for joining. It's Thanksgiving. I hope you can hear me. I have a bit of a sore throat. This is the problem this week. Truth is, Deceptikitty's not here. This is Dr. Arkeville, broadcasting to you live from his burnt down condo. Let me tell you, this place was set ablaze a few days ago. Unknown unpopular user, hello, James. Great to see you as always. James says I was at Real Canadian Superstore. I got Studio Series 86 Sharktacon not for $30 compared to Walmart for $35. I've seen him online for $40, so $30 is a good price. That's a good find. Hello Ninjatron. Thank you for joining. Master of the Darkness. All hail the dark. So let me tell you, why is Dr. Arkeville here today? Well, great voice acting. It's not acting. My throat, let me tell you, this happened to me. I had a friend, Krishan. Krishan and I were taking a train, old buddy of mine. There happened to be a jazz band in one of the cars. What acting? After the show, we were having a couple of drinks. He said something derogatory about the trumpet player. I thought that squeezed my horn. So I put a hole in his ears. Hope you could hear it a little bit better then. All it takes is one bad day. Kushan! That's not a joke, that's a name. Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving. In celebration of the festivities, we have pumpkin pie. Everyone's favorite. I know it's my favorite. I was born in September, a harvest child. Spoiled with all of the goodness of the seasons. That went absolutely everywhere. That's okay. It's much better this way. Voice acting, I find, alleviates a lot of my stress, let me tell you. Let me tell you, reality is this place was set ablaze a few days ago. A few days ago, a bathroom heater caught fire. The whole condo was evacuated. That's a big bill. Damn. Who's to say I didn't start the fire myself? In fact, I'm being investigated for arson. Ha 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 ha. MOCNES progress, let me tell you. Number one, Dr. Arkeville has been taken over since something like Thursday, so not much has happened. I'm also down a microphone. Let me tell you, things have been happening one thing after another. So, I have a really nice microphone, which I'm usually using right here, but it's not there. So again, I pulled too hard while I had my headphones on, and the USB damn thing broke off again on Springfield, our SOBs. Something's not working. There we go. Hello again. I hope I'm back. My computer crashed. Or was it the bat trying to foil me again? No, wait, I'm Dr. Arkeville.
So I'm on the fence.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Is not one of them.
That's what happens. Welcome back. Thank you for staying, audience. It's just in the middle of something. enough of the shenanigans. I have something for you. I got one of these. Actually, I've got two of them. I cheated and I opened it myself on my own. I was so excited. I thought I had the remote controller that I wanted. I squeezed every packet in the store. I squeezed and I squeezed until the guy stocking shelves came up to me and he said, "Excuse me, sir. The store is closing." So I told him, "Yes, I think I have the right one." And I didn't. In any case, this time I'm pretty sure I have it. At the same time, I'm gonna fix my YouTube docking chat here. Thank you for your patience. I feel that music's too loud. It's too loud for me. I can hardly hear myself think. Alright. Can you guess which one it is? I knew it! I knew it! I felt every package and I got the one. I got it. Alright. This was probably the easiest one to get. Oh, there's writing on the back. Paladone Productions. Made in China, of course. Cool. That's the last one I want. Well, I have it! Ha ha! Oh, damn, this thing is loose. Is it supposed to be loose? It was actually off-centered on the real one. As a matter of fact, I happen to have one right here. See, the cable's at the side. For ergonomic playability, everyone knows. Cable's coming out of the side of the controller makes it much better use. So this is here. I don't know why this is here, but I have this device. I have too many things on my desk. I may as well pick everything up and show you what I have here. That'll sort things out. So this is my USB device for my Nintendo controller. If I had some electronics, it would be fun to put that in here. Make this an actual working controller on the go. Could you imagine me on the bus? Yes, I can picture that. Actually, the buttons press. Look at that. Look at that. That's splendid. Oh my! Of course, they left us no way to open this thing. I'm sure I could if I tried hard enough. Classic controller. That's the controller that I grew up with. So it was pertinent that I get this one. Oh yeah, it's actually got texture on this sticker here, much like the original. That's really nice. Very nice indeed. What else have we for you today? Pumpkin pie? What is the celebration of Thanksgiving anyways? Something about Indians and turkey. More things on my desk. I have a Cosmos. I bet you're all yearning for one of these. Apparently I don't know how to transform him. Whoosh. Did he just fall apart there? He just did. That's funny. He's got his screw loose. There's a good reason for that. I'm still suffering. There's been smoke engulfing this entire condo. So I have everything covered with a layer of dust. So if you see there's like soot and smoke remnants on everything. I've been busy cleaning the walls. Could you imagine? Every wall has to be cleaned. The buttons can be pressed, but they are not individual buttons. Not individual buttons. Gadzooks! You can't press them! They press at the same time! Blast! Well, that needs to be fixed. Still, this is awesome. Epic indeed. I literally felt every package. Every one of them was fresh. That was a brand new box they took out there. And everyone was nice and pristine. No crinkles on any one of them. And I took them one by one. And I crinkled it. And I crinkled it some more. Then I threw it away. Then I took the next one. And I crinkled it. Then I crinkled it until I couldn't crinkle no more. If somebody knows, Thanksgiving's only Thanksgiving in Canada. I'm a worldly man. I celebrate every festivity from every country. Every day of the year. That way every day is a celebration. Raspberry makes that amazing. What's up next on Deceptikitty's desk? There's an album here. What the hell is this crap? Some kind of sound effects happening here. I'll get rid of that here. There we go. So, I've been 3D printing something because, you know, you alleviate some stress. This is the microphone that I had that was, you know, doing so well for the time being before I broke it. I made an adapter on the end here. This way, when I plug something in, there's some leverage. I'm going to extend this out so that it's a hollow cavity. So when I plug something in, say, I'm also going to change it to USB-C. That's an idea. So when I plug it in, it's going to have a little recess so that if it tilts, it has something to grab onto. That's the idea. And also I'm going to change it to USB-C. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. You guys remember that Jim Carrey thing? This keyboard, it's covered in smoke. The fire happened the farthest from this room, and everything is covered in smoke. Can you tell I'm furious? Before I came on, I was cleaning my bedroom, washing the walls one by one. I think I've got 2 walls left to go. There's many walls. It's a funny room. And, cleaning smoke off the walls is not easy, let me tell you. It's not easy. Smoke on everything. The smallest fire, too. Oh, I could tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. Fine, I will. It's cold in the morning. It's cold in the morning, so when I'm taking a shit, I turn the heater on. It needs to be hot in there. When you do a Halloween candy eating this month, oh, that reminds me of some type of strange taffy. Some type of strange taffy time of year. Halloween candy, indeed. I should go check for those. I was at the dollar store today, I think. I didn't see any Halloween candy yet. They'd be coming soon, I'm sure. I was telling a story about something. The fire! That's right! I lit a match and I set it ablaze! Right off! That's what I did. Burned it down. Well, the story I told the police, anyways. I guess the stories connect one to another. I had a camera I got for my cat. Deceptikitty was so pleased this morning that she got a little camera. She could be a camera girl herself. So we were using this. Day one. And that's another story. But day one of using the camera, we were so excited to get out that I left the heater on in the bathroom. I figured it was cold out. 4 degrees! And the bathroom heater was, I suppose, on top of a box of kitty litter. Harmless, it seemed. But by the time I got a coffee, I got a call from the security guard. The security guard said, there's an alarm going off in your units. I said, well, what kind of alarm? A smoke alarm. I don't think that's something you call someone to ask. What do I do about this smoke alarm happening in your unit? I think that's something you take action on because that's what they're meant for. Anyways, he called me. Took his time. I think there's an alarm in your unit. Do you mind if I go in with the superintendent? I said, I suppose you should. Deceptikitty was with myself. And I looked at the security footage on my camera. Everything was in smoke. There wasn't any fire I could notice, but everything was smoke everywhere. Deceptikitty. So we ran home. We ran as fast as we could. Fire marshal. Let me show you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me show you something.
Sorry. I just had to do that. I've been watching some Jim Carrey lately. He's a real good inspiration. Silly man he is. So we ran home, cat on shoulder and all. By the time we got here, there was no alarm that went off. Blast this thing. Blast this thing. Blast it. By the time we got here, there was no fire alarm, but when we got upstairs to our unit, waited for the elevator and all, then the announcement came. Everyone evacuate the building. Everyone's gonna die, came on the announcement, said the security manager. I run into the unit, smoke ablaze, cat on the shoulder, brave as anything. Ready for this, ready for any action. We had a bird we had to save. Bertrand was in danger. Peril he was. We went in there. And it was just a little fire in the bathroom. Just a tiny little one. Hardly even anything to worry about. I stomped it out with my foot. Put the shower hose on and sprayed it a bit. And the cat was like, all right. Well, that was fun. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for the fire truck. The whole condo building, all 23 floors, penthouse included, outside waiting around with the fire security to put out the fire. Meanwhile, a cat had put out the fire. And that's what happened. Then I'm investigated for arson. You left your house with your cat. How convenient is that? They must have thought that was pretty suspicious. What a week that was! Then what happened? Well, I lost my shit, let me tell you. Spoke with the security guard, gave him a piece of my mind. I told him, pointed the street at his nipples. And I said, next time that happens, you put the fire out yourself. That's what happened. What kind of a rock ballad is this? Speaking of rock ballads, who's been watching Agatha? Agatha all along. That's a funny show. If nothing else, it's very funny. Jade eggs and all. Very funny show. So yesterday, I only discovered yesterday that show was airing. So I binged in fast forward, I suppose. Didn't watch the whole thing, skipped over quite a bit, but it was very good. What other junk do we have to show off here? Oh yes, the camera. The camera indeed, that's another thing. You should get a Scorponok as the head crusher. The Scorponok. I think that worked perfectly. Zarak there. Pinching. Upset. Scowling at people walking by. How dare they? In their fancy pants. They squish their heads as they pass. Zarak is the kind of fellow to be doing that, yes. TFCon Baltimore is happening. Couple of weeks away. Before that, though. That's exciting. Anyone going to TFCon Baltimore? Jealous. I might be going myself, but we'll see. No promises. But Baltimore. I've been to Baltimore. Just for I think I was in Baltimore. I went to Washington, D.C. Yes. But the flight was to Baltimore. And then I drove, or somebody drove. Because they're so close. But Baltimore, yes, fun place. I think it's cheaper in DC because there's no taxes, was the idea. My Bumblebee has soot on him. Can you see this? I don't think so. But he's covered in blackness. His soul has become dark. Like mine! All it takes is one bad day. More junk. That's strange. Oh, that got ripped open pretty good. Energon just fell out of that one. Good stuff. This place is chaotic. I'm sure there's something entertaining here for you. Megatron. Not any Megatron. Little Former's Megatron. The best kind. Stupid Starscream. Nah. Transformers 1. Transformers 1. That was a good show. I wish I could see it again. It stopped playing at the theater near me. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. So I have this camera. My sister got it for me. It's a brand new thing. Brand new and extravagant. So it comes in a box like this. You wouldn't think it cost hundreds of dollars. Look at this box art. Give me a break. There's a yellow line on the bottom. This is the cheapest Chinese box I've seen in a long time. I swear it. Anyways, so when I got this, it didn't come with a charger, believe it or not. This is all that came in the box, just this. And it's the smallest camera. It's like an action camera. So of course, without a charger, I have no way of using this. So I had to devise one on my own. Dr. Arkeville style. This has a USB-C plug on the bottom that plug in thusly. And then this goes on like so. As simple as that. It's all magnetic. And the cat wears it on her little harness. Maybe I could show you some footage. I think I can. I think I could share something with you. Here we go. Alright, so this is the cat. Wearing her camera, hunting some mice. Trust me, this is much easier than taking the pictures myself. Super rad camera. So I'll be doing a stream sometime this week. Repairing my microphone. And upgrading it to USB-C. So that's what I was just doing before I came on, I guess. I had this discarded e-cigarette thingies I find all over the place. They have batteries and USB-C ports. Main thing in these ones. So that's why I picked this one up. And as I open it up, something flew out. This is really cool because there's a screen right here. And way too much circuitry going on inside. This is one of these high-tech ones. Too much for me, I think. All I want is a USB-C port. Well, that won't be easy. May as well go with the other one. So, what was I doing with this anyways? That's right, I was finishing my story. Okay, when I get this out here, it's got the USB-C port. Perpendicular to the board? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You must be crazy. Think about that. You're plugging something in, and the leverage is on the very end. You're crazy. Some designer ought to be shot. In any case, what I wanted is to use the board and use the whole board as the leverage. It even has some mounting holes. That's what I used for the previous one. This one has some mounting holes in there. And then I made another one, but this time, this one has 4 pins on it. I guess I better go to the bigger screen. This one has 4 pins. Count them 4, not 5, 4. Reason for that is it has a regular USB plug on it. And I've deciphered the USB port pinouts. And that's what the company doesn't want you to know. They want you to buy either the Action Pod, the whole set, or some kind of quick reader device. And I couldn't bring myself to spend more money on it. The thing was already $600 or something. So I emailed the company and I told them, I figured it out. I can plug it into the computer. It recognizes it as the older version. I have some speculations about that. And it won't let me access the files. It needs some type of intermediary. So I told them this is the case. I know your secrets. I know the pinouts of your device. Give me the files, or I will release the knowledge on Reddit. And they responded, we'll get back to you. Winning! Where are we on time? Well, hardly halfway through the show. keep this on for long. I know I had more stuff here for you. Okay, so insanity has slightly subsided, and my throat is yeah, that's not easy. Especially I have a damage in my throat. I have a damage in my throat. It's so strange. It's like a piece of cartilage or something is like turned inside out, and it's stuck in my throat. Man, that's painful. But in any case, yeah, going insane helps me cope. Helps me cope. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. And the cat appreciates it too. She could tell that I could vent in the most appropriate manner, which is voice acting loudly as well. And she likes it. She plays along. So I have this vape here, and I want to get the USB-C thing out, but I don't even know how this opens. This seems like it's one of those things that have been like injection molded and then injection molded again with like some a little bit softer plastic or texturized plastic. But this front panel seems like it wants to come off. Ah, indeed it does. I got my thing under there already. So this one also has a screen. This probably has a bunch of electronics in there as well. Man, I've been talking like that to myself for days. Let me tell you. Joker. What was it about the Joker? Something Mark Hamill, something Batman. I forgot. Anyways, I was watching something Batman recently. What was it? Okay, so here's the trick. So there's a little clip here, and I'm just going to depress this, and something gonna happen for me. I'm gonna stab my wrist. Oh, that doesn't want to depress at all, does it? You know what I gotta do? I probably have to lift. Yeah, if anything. There we go. Boop. Yeah. So a little bit insanity happening the past few days. I literally... Okay, so when my house caught fire, cops are like asking me all kinds of questions. I'm like, okay, whatever. I show up with the cat on my shoulder. Oh, look at this one's 90 degrees as well. But it's like, okay, that's fine 90 degrees, but it's got like such a huge USB board. I don't need that much stuff happening there. It's okay. We'll make do. I wish it was smaller. I wish I were LeVar Burton. That was been stuck in my head for the past couple of days. If anyone knows where that's from, I feel sorry for you. Fruity. It smells like an old lady's perfume. Oh my god, that smells like old lady perfume, like potpourri. Nice. Laana is prowling around like Ravage. Totally is. Totally is. $600. Holy Dinah. Holy Dinah! Yeah, it's really expensive. Like, okay, I didn't buy it. My sister bought it. It was... I think it's $660 for like the full kit. But she just bought me the camera. Thinking that I could just use the camera because like it's for the cat. I don't need the whole thing, which looks like a GoPro,
and it plugs into that, which has a screen on the back and it could flip up, or you could use it as a webcam and all that. And like, I have plenty of cameras. I don't need that for myself. This is for the cat. So yeah, she didn't get that for me, but lo and behold, I can't charge the thing any other way unless I had like a little device. So I figured out the pin out. I made my own thing, and although I can connect it to the computer and the computer recognizes it as a USB plug and play device, it says that I need some kind of drivers. Really, in reality, like what happens is like when you plug it into the action pod, like the holder where the screen is, you plug that into the USB port, and then on the screen it'll come up, do you want to use this as a webcam or do you want to use this as a like a USB drive? And then from there it talks to the camera, and then that talks to the computer. So then the computer knows on how to communicate with it. Do you communicate with it as a camera, or do you communicate with it as a flash drive? So that's the case there. And I'm USB-cingifying everything. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that's why I wanted a really small one, is because I want to put this on the back of my microphone here. So like I said, I'm going to make an extension. I couldn't really explain this using that voice because it's a little bit... Number one, my voice throat is in a lot of pain. Number two, yeah, words don't come out as fluidly. So I want to put this somewhere on the back so that in the event of when it pulls out, like a USB, micro USB plug tends to like really grip because it has that latch, right? And if it pulls in the wrong direction, it's just gonna like tear the whole thing. USB-C is a little bit more forgiving, where if it gets torn out, then we're not in such bad shape. It'll just pop right out. Oh no. I had a great idea just now. So there's like a flex cable plug right here, and I have to find a way on how to mount if I'm going to put it externally, then I got to solder the wires inside and have them come outside. So I'm like, how am I going to do that and have it removable, right? What if I have to take it apart again for some reason? Then I have to desolder the wires in order to take that apart. So that's not a good design. What I should do is have like some kind of ribbon cable, and lo and behold, there is a ribbon cable slot, and the ribbon cable was actually for the screen, which I just dropped and lost somewhere. In any case, yeah, I could have used that and just plugged it in via that little thing, but the problem is the other side's on a camera. I don't think I could really solder on the other side of it. I probably could. If I tried hard enough. What else have I been 3D printing? 3D printing. Oh, as a matter of fact, that might be a little bit tough. Also, the ribbon cable is super short, so that's actually not really good for anything. So maybe that's a new. Is that? We'll see. I'll play around with it. 3D printing other stuff. I've been 3D printing. Had to get that 3D printer up and running because it's been out of commission for a while. Just to solve some of my own sanity there. Oh, I guess this little camera guy. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been looking at something else though. Darn. Only so much has been is kept in my RAM right now. I don't remember what's been happening so much. All day today I've been doing nothing but cleaning. Yeah. Been tiring few days after that fire. Oh yeah, so I wasn't finished my story. So the cops are calling me again. Oh, we want to talk to you about the thing. And then, okay, ciao, I know no popular user, so I didn't have anything for you this week. Next week, I promise. Wait a sec. I should promise anything. So I'll see you next time. Have a good night. thing I was going to say was... That's okay, it'll come back to me. Was I talking about my memory? I think I was even talking about my poor memory. Yeah, so my memory outside of this week is like, oh, okay, yeah. So the cops were trying to, the cops called me back saying like, hey, we want to talk to you again. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And they're like, do you have anywhere to put your cat? I'm like, why would I need anywhere to put my cat? Number one. Number two, you're in my condo doing an investigation. Like, I can't even go in there. Like, so no, I don't have anywhere to put my cat. And I'm like, so what do you want? He's like, well, I'm gonna level with you. You're under investigation for arson. And I'm like, no, thank you. So I let them do their investigation and finish up and figure it out that, like, yeah, it's a bloody heater in the bathroom. And in fact, I'm the one that ran home, or rather the cat's the one that ran home and put out the fire herself. Literally, the cat was just like totally chill about it. She's just like on the shoulder.
Sorry. Welcome back. I'm sorry for keeping you again. Oh boy. Let me tell you, all it takes is one bad day.
Yeah, my computer keeps crashing. I'm so sorry. I know why. Well, I'm not sure why 100%, but I'm pretty sure why. I bought 32 gigs of RAM, the really good stuff, and I thought it would save like $10, so I bought 16 gigs and 16 gigs. And I put both of the 16 gigs in the same computer. They're not the same chips, all of the same packaging, and it doesn't always align the memory and timing. I hope the video is all right, because like I'm really suffering my eyes with all this lighting in here, just so it's not so pixelated. But this camera's doing really good. Let's go back and check out some of the footage that I've been taking with the mini camera, because that was a lot of fun. That's been a lot of fun, just diddling around with the cat. Let's see what I got here. I think this is her on my shoulder. Let's switch screens. Oh, there's no music. I think we got to do something about that. Oh, yeah, I take her into Tim Hortons with me all the time. And of course, like, half of our walk has to do with, hey, Impactor! Hey, dude!
Oh man. Let me tell you, Impactor, times are good. Times are good.
So what we're watching here, Impactor, thanks for joining, by the way, is a cat camera. And this girl here, has been really, is it appropriate? I shouldn't be showing her. Geez, that's weird. I didn't mean to do that. This is just a cat cam. So we're at Tim Hortons, and I'm showing a bunch of faces here. I'm sure they're all consenting to being on camera. If they're touching my cat or looking at my cat, they're automatically consenting to be in these videos. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, just like having her towed around, because it's really hard to film a cat because she's always moving. She doesn't really want to look directly at the camera. She'll glance at it, and like as soon as she realizes like I'm pointing the camera at her, she moves away or turns around. And yeah, so let's watch some adventures of her here. What else do I got here? Let's skip forward to by the time we're at Tim Hortons. It took me a while to realize that I didn't complete my mobile order. I was just standing around. They're like, have you placed an order yet? Because you've been standing around for a long time. And I go by Astro Boy at that Tim Hortons, and most places I order food. And yeah, that's my granddad's old building. He used to live right there. That's my office building. That's where my office and mail goes to. So if you're sending me fan mail, then you can send it to 30 Eglinton Avenue West, Suite 400. Deceptikitty. I'm sure if you put Deceptikitty, staff will know who that is, but no, you could put Micah or you could put Technospace. am I really grifting for people to send me stuff? Oh, this is my Facebook. Are you guys looking at my whole screen? Yeah, so this is the back where Laana walks between office and home. This is gonna kill. This is gonna kill on TikTok, guaranteed. Once I get the whole stabilization thing figured out and the editing and her catching a mouse and jumping off of things, yeah, she's gonna do really well on TikTok. So by the way, so I asked them, the company, when I emailed them, I told them, look, I made this device to interface with my computer because like if one wasn't included, when my sister sent me this thing, and I made a charger, and the customer support's like, okay, well, we'll get in touch with the correct department. And I also asked them, hey, like Lana's the one that's been doing a lot of videoing on this, or she's the one that's going to be doing the video on this. Give me a sponsorship and send me like the whole thing, so I don't have to buy it myself. Let's get some tunes back here. What's going on with the sound? There we go. It's pretty rad. This video here, it's like it's two whatever it is, 2K video. The reason is like it's supposed to have some type of ability to stabilize. I think that's after the fact. Like that's why there's a green line on the left. I think the purpose of that is these videos, when you get them right out of the camera, they expect you to use their software. So unless you're using their software, that green line is going to show up on your final product. They're a little bit jerky, this company, but if they send me some free stuff as a sponsorship, then I still think I'm going to be honest about it. So the thing about it is, yeah, number one, they don't send you a charger. You have to buy the whole thing. When you buy the camera on its own, it's not good enough. You have to buy the whole package. They released a Go, so this is a Go 3, yeah, Insta360 Go 3S is a version. So when I plugged it into my computer, it said Insta360 Go 3. So I'm like, very likely it's the same product, exactly same thing, the Go 3, but that was released a year ago. This one was released recently. They probably have the same device, but they just upgraded the firmware. It's literally, there's nothing different about it. There's not even a label on this thing. Or there is a label. Even still, does it say model? Input 5 volts. There's this serial number. Well, there's Bluetooth. It says a few things, but there's nothing necessarily to identify the model number. There's a serial number, which could be anything. Like that's an internal thing, their serial number, and that can reference to whatever it is on their side. So I have a feeling that this is Insta360 Go 3 repackaged with new firmware as a Go 3S with an extra $100 price tag. So I think that's the business plan of this company. Let's see what else we got with respect to these videos here, because I did some skateboarding videos, I think. I went on a longboard cruise. Pretty sure. Oh yeah, this one doesn't work. Okay, this is me figuring out the camera for the first time. Yeah. Let's just jump down. Oh yeah, that's the cat on the board. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. She's licking my nose there. We're on the elevator getting ready for, I don't know what we're doing in the morning. We usually go out for the morning first thing, for a walk somewhere, get some coffee, get us some breakfast maybe, throw some peanuts to the squirrels. And this morning I decided to take my skateboard. Oh, this is the first day I took the thing. That's right. So this is when the fire happened. Oh, darn. Oh, darn. is that in this video? Maybe. Oh, probably not. I think it's in the next video, but I don't have this. I haven't uploaded on my computer yet. That's another thing. So if I'm downloading, I don't have anything to interface with the camera to, so I have to download the videos via Bluetooth, and I only have like maximum 9-10 gigabytes of space on my phone. I have to delete some stuff if I want to be able to use all that space. And the videos that I've taken are too big. They're like 20 minutes long, and like it's like way more than 10 gigabytes. I can't store them on my phone. So that's the cat on my shoulder riding a electric skateboard in traffic, and like she's just totally dealing with it. She's looking behind, watching traffic for me. Yeah, that's one rad cat, let me tell you. Deceptikitty is super rad. This is how 1 year, 2 years actually, we got to TFCon. I took a skateboard, I think, no, not her first year, because that was wintertime. It was December, their first year at TFCon. But her second year at TFCon, second and third? No, just her second year. I skateboarded to TFCon. That was a lot of fun. Last year I didn't skateboard. This previous year we were at a dealer table, so. What, longboard cruise? Yeah, dude. The cat goes on cruises with me. So this is kind of our trek between the office and my home. I had a friend that used to hang out right there at the benches, and yeah, we used to just chat about shit. She moved away recently. She moved up north somewhere, not too far, but still, it's not as convenient as having her hanging around, you know, every once in a while. People in my neighborhood. Rat cat. Let's see. I had some things planned. Like I started making a list of things that I saw throughout the week that I thought was cool to talk about. But yeah, no, I felt I needed to go a little bit off the cuff this week, just for the sake of enjoying my channel a little bit more. Like I feel like I needed to do a little bit. Oh, that's why. I've been watching some Jim Carrey shit recently, like, and I forgot like on how much of an inspiration he was to me. Huge inspiration, Jim Carrey. And yeah, he's connected to all different things. Like he's really with it, man. Like he's really cool. And he doesn't like just make things stale. Like he doesn't let himself get stale. Some, you know, he did at a time, but that was like kind of, he was getting typecast for all kinds of things. But yeah, he plays things differently all the time just to make sure that he doesn't get stale, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I feel like maybe instead of doing what I had initially set out to do, go a little bit off the cuff and yeah, characterize my stream at least a little bit. At least have, what was the camera upside down? At least have some characters. Because yeah, I'm really boring on my own, or at least I feel I'm really boring. So for me, it's not as entertaining. It is definitely therapeutic, but it's not. I don't know. I feel like I could feel more rewarded if I get some characters in there, and yeah, that's what we should do. More characters. Oh, I'm so ready for this pumpkin pie. This stuff is really good, especially with the raspberries. That was a great idea. So I got some raspberries for the bird because I felt bad. The bird was in the fire. I came home, put out the fire, Cat and I rescued the bird, or at least I thought I was going to. So I go and grab the bird. I'm like, Bird John, you coming with me outside? Because he was there on the TV, like didn't even move. He was not like getting on the ground where there's no smoke. No, he's just standing on the TV, sucking in the fumes. So I go to grab him, and like normal, he's like, no, buzz up. He goes and he flies and and I smoke everywhere. I could not see him, so I'm like, okay, well, shit. I'm looking for him. I tried. I went in and out a few times. But like I was inhaling so much smoke, the cat was inhaling so much smoke, so I'm like, the bird can't be that stupid. Get on the floor, bird, where there's no smoke. So I left, and I come back, and the firefighter's like, "There's a bird on your window." I'm like, you found him. So he was just sitting on some clothes next to the windowsill, but like, there was no air circulation up there. The stupid bird, for like an hour, was breathing in smoke. But he's fine. Still dumb, but he's fine. Bird on. I wonder what the fire guys thought when it's like, "Oh, your bird is on the window." I'm like, "Bird run!" Oh, bird run! I call him Bird Run. Nobody asked. But legitimately, that's his name, Bird Run. Bird Run. I think the I looked it up, and I think the monsters, the kaiju, I think it's a Birdon. But Ninja had said Birdron, spelled it Birdron first, and also Birdron resembles Bertrand, like Bertrand. So Birdron, even like Ron, like Birdron or Ron Bird, Birdron. I think it's hilarious. That's such a good name. So yeah, I it was just like it was a reflex when I saw the bird. I'm like, Birdron. And I thought about it immediately after. I'm like, I wonder what he thinks about that. That's funny. He likes his name. He's been having a lot of pin feathers around his neck. Normally birds like come in there and they like peck at each other's feathers to like groom them and get rid of that itchiness. Because when they grow, they have like a little shell over them. I've never had my own bird before. This is the first time I've looked after a bird. I tried to like, I brought some in before, but like, they survive and I let them go type of thing. But this is the first like juvenile bird that I brought in, and he survived, and he's still hanging out with me. He doesn't want to leave necessarily. He doesn't seem like he wants to go. Taken him out a couple of times, and he just hangs out there. He's happy. He's content. So I'm like, okay, well, it's fine. You don't have to go, bird on. So yeah, I was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. He had all these pin feathers sticking out there, so I'm like, okay, finally, let me do that. He doesn't let me touch him. The cat doesn't let me touch him. So I gave up. I haven't touched him in weeks. I haven't touched him since he first arrived. I think since after he got better. I think I touched him once and then freaked out. I think that was the last time I touched him. So I just change his water. I give him food in the morning. Say hello to him. That's it. He's cool with that. A couple of times he's flown into bed with me. Like he'd like sleep next to me. I've caught him doing that. I wonder how many times he's done that. I haven't slept in the bedroom in the past few days because that's still being cleaned out. Hopefully I can get around to finishing that tonight. So yeah, I grabbed Birdron for the first time in weeks. And I'm like, let me fix those pin feathers. This is also like some type of bonding that we could do, like, because I don't have any way to bond with the bird. It's just like, I give him food, I give him water, and he stays the heck away from me. But he just hangs out in the room. He's neat. He has his corner. I put a little towel on a little perch for him. He'll sit around there. He'll sit on the TV. He'll sit on like a lamp. He'll sit on the printer. He stays in this one vicinity and he shits in one area. So like he's a really good bird. There's a mirror there. That's why he likes that area too. It's like the corner of the bedroom. He's a really, really good bird, despite being a non-domestic bird. He's totally domesticated. So yeah, back to my grabbing him. So I was grabbing with him. I'm like, let me finally do this. I'm trying to scratch his neck and get him okay with it. He's not okay with it. He's just a little brat slapping me and trying to escape. So I'm finally like getting rid of some of these pin feathers, and yeah, he's like into it. He's like, oh, that's been bugging me for a while. I could tell it's been bugging him for days. So I'm getting rid of a couple of them, and then I see this big one on the front, and he didn't have many on the front. So I saw this one on the front. I figured I'd grab this one and squeeze it a little bit, because you have to like crush the shell. It's like, I don't know, it's like the husk of a rice grain or something like that. And the whole thing came out, and all this blood came out of the end. I'm like, oh fuck, bird run. So don't pluck those pin feathers too hard, otherwise take the whole thing out, blood starts squirting everywhere. He didn't mind. It could have also been like a reaction. Normally that's with tail feathers though. Like birds lose their tail feathers as like a escape mechanism when they're in danger. He did that to me once. That's what happened the last time I grabbed him. So I grabbed him, and he released his tail feathers on me. I'm like, oh, you stupid bird. But he was young, so oh yeah, I made sure that I didn't touch him for a long time, because I wanted his tail feather to grow. I think he lost a couple of them, but still, it looked kind of funny. He was already a juvenile, and now his tail feathers are huge. Bird draw. I wish I could bring him on screen. He's not cooperative. He's probably sleeping right now anyways. So that Joker movie flopped. I haven't seen it. I guess that's kind of why. Like my sentiment was that like, oh, I'll see it on stream or something. Like I had no interest to go to the theaters to see it. Why turn it into a musical? Yeah, it just didn't seem to make any sense. So, first one was great. I don't know if I went to theaters to go see it. I may have. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Sadly, the second one wasn't as good. Or it didn't do as well. Also, the Wild Robot did better than the Transformers 1 movie, all despite it coming out after. A few reasons. Maybe it's a global release, all at once, simultaneously, whereas Transformers was broken up. I don't even think it's been released all over the world yet. I know it's been released in UK now. I think this past week it just got released in UK. Yeah, this past weekend it got released in UK. So the numbers are starting to go up a little bit. But I think in Japan or something like that, it hasn't been released. Some places it hasn't been released. Maybe it's Australia. I'm harping about the numbers, but it just seems like that's just like a standard metric for me with regards to how, well, more so with what I could expect to the franchise going forward, right? If it didn't perform that well, then they're not going to invest too much in it. I think we've already made this argument that that's not what it's about with Hasbro. But already watching the movie, it's already been out a month. I don't know why I'm still talking about Transformers 1. I didn't like the fact that they had well, it just didn't seem like it was meant to flow into like the next movie. It was pretty much it, in my opinion. Like, okay, maybe they leave Earth and then Prime takes the Matrix, and then there's no more flow of Energon, and then it goes back into the Dark Age. But it seemed like it was too wrapped up. Like it was just one thing. There wasn't more than too much going on, and yeah, close that one chapter. So already I had the feeling that there's not really much room to move outside of that into like the next TV show or the next movie. So yeah, I guess it's not an anything. Oh, the music is not even playing. I listened to this. Guys are listening. Sorry. I guess it's a nothing to say that the numbers aren't raking in like they are for other movies like Transformers, Wild Robot. So that's funny why Wild Robot's doing so well. I guess it's like an animal movie. There's a robot in it, cutesy, but also it was like a children's book or something like that at some point in time. I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it. Looks cool though. If I was a kid, that's probably something I'd be definitely into. What else is going on in the world? Putin keeps coming up in my start menu for some reason. I think there's some type of news icon. I don't really pay attention to this, but all the time is Putin, Putin, Putin. Like, I swear to God, I've never been to Russia. Have I been to Russia? I don't think I've been to Russia. Maybe I've stepped foot in Russia, but like, I was in Finland. How many people have been to that side of the world? Like, who really cares about what happens over there? Unless you're from there. Like, I have family from there, right? And they don't even care. Who cares? Why would you show... Why Microsoft News?
Can I do a Russian accent? One time I asked... Oh shit.
That's some type of Slavic accent, but that's not Russian accent.
I had friends I work with at my shop. They're from Ukraine. One guy, Maximov. His name's Max. He can't speak English very well. So when I have customer, they want to ask, I want to talk to technician. I say, okay. I call Max, come here. Customer wants to talk to you. Max comes out. Customer starts talking. Max looks at customer. Duh. Нет. Yeah. And that's all he gets. In Soviet Russia, I want my bird. Well, he can do a Russian accent.
I guess I'm a little nervous about doing these voices. I have a good Russian accent. I'm not feeling I'm hitting it 100%. The thing is, like, I have like lines I could say, you know.
It's organic.
One time, oh yeah, that's what happened. So one time I went to the landscapers. They were like spraying the yard, and I had my cat. I was walking the cat, and the landscaper was Ukrainian, and I'm trying to talk to him. And I'm like, what are you spraying here exactly? Like, what's in this? It's organic. So yeah, that's one of my lines, my Russian/Ukrainian accent lines. Yeah, oh, I love accents. Thank you for requesting that. I'll come back to a Russian accent when a line comes to me. See you around, Deceptikitty. Gotta go to bed. Okay, Impactor. Thanks for joining, dude. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work with your videos. You had mentioned you were going to do a stream. I didn't catch it. I didn't see it. It didn't come up on my feed. I'm really sorry if I missed it. If not, yeah, definitely post. And yeah, I'll definitely tune in. I know there's some Transformers news that I've been wanting to talk about. I was just watching Proto Man do some card unpackaging. I'm like gonna catch some disease. Have a good night. Have a good night, James. Thank you for joining, dude. Excuse me. Really appreciate you coming. Yeah, I used to work with these Ukrainians a lot, so we used to do all kinds of silly things. I named my cat after a conversation I had with one of the guys there. Vova. So I told him, I saw this, thank you, James, I really appreciate that. Yeah, the universe resolves itself, dude. It's okay. I'm just gonna let loose a little insanity.
I'll see you next time.
So I saw this sketch with Megan Fox in SNL, and she was playing this mail order wife or something like that, or whatever, from Russia, and her name was Svetlana. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice name. And so I remember that. This was like back when Transformers 1 was in theaters, or like around that time. She was on SNL playing this character, Svetlana. And yeah, I remember that name. That's a really cool name. I like that name. And so I brought it up with Vova. We were talking. I'm like, yeah, Olga from Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, it's a cool name. He's like, haha, that's old easy. And I'm like, Svetlana. And he's like, he laughs even harder. Like, that's like such an old lady's name. And I'm like, that's perfect. I name all my cats old ladies' names. Like Penelope and Fabret and Samantha. Who else? Harriet. All old lady names. All the cats have old lady names. So that's perfect. Svetlana was a name I really liked already. It's an old lady name, as confirmed by my Ukrainian friend Vova, who's stuck in Ukraine right now. He actually got stuck there. He went back during the COVID thing, and he got some, Serb money, but he was in Ukraine. So he was still getting the money, because it goes straight to your account, right? So he's left the country, and he's still getting the money. But as soon as he left, there was that thing with Russia that happened, so he got stuck over there.
That's why I wanted to go with voices.
I figured I would just come up with lines like I was doing, talking to myself all day and talking to my cat. My cat really loves it when I'm going absolutely bananas with the character acting with her. She likes the Jack Nicholson thing, and the more bonkers I am, the more she enjoys it. So I was feeling, I guess I was feeling a little bit self-conscious about the voices on live stream. I am noticing that I have a little bit of I get a little bit locked up, that my brain's not so lucid as it could be. I guess I'm paying too much attention rather than just letting loose. So it was actually a good idea that, it's a good idea because it's fun and I like to do that a little bit more, come up with some new characters, and yeah, each of them can have their own segment maybe. I'd like to work on my Dr. Arkeville character, as a matter of fact, because that's a character that I haven't visited in some time, and I feel I'm feeling the Dr. Arkeville. I feel him lately. Yes, he is making a big return. Definitely someday soon. It smells like old ladies from these vapes. What else do I got on my desk? I'm sure I got some cool stuff on my desk. I did some art a little bit. I didn't do it every day like I was supposed to, but I had some ideas that, because they're just doodles, and I'm just doodling and drawing, and they can very well be anything. Okay, yeah, I'm remembering on how to use a pen altogether, but I would like to be practicing something, because the guy who came up with Inktober, his intention was to practice his inking for whatever particular reason. Okay, me too, I gotta practice my inking in general, but what am I practicing? Am I practicing cross-hatching? Am I practicing stippling? Am I practicing just, going over pencils? So, I realized that I would like to have some kind of goal. I would like to be able to proficiently draw some Tezuka characters like Astro Boy and Uren, because I think that's pretty rudimentary. Yeah, just to know how to draw the Astro Boy from like, well, I'll just pick one, like the 1980s version of Astro Boy, and be proficient at that. Like, there's always like certain things that you have to. There's like rules when you draw characters. Like, for example, like the Batman, Astro is harder to draw than one might think. Exactly. So, but there are rules, right? So, like, despite like what angle he's at, like always his hair is pointing in one way or another. Very much like Batman in the Batman animated series, is that like there's like rules where like his nose is like such a point, and like his ears come down a certain way, and his eye ends at a certain point. Like, there's these rules, and that's essentially what I want to figure out, is like these rules that was followed in the 1980s Astro Boy TV show. Outside of that, I'm not so, like, I guess I'll get to it later, but like I would like to be able to get that aesthetic solid, or like maybe even like because it is like 80s anime, it is missing some lines, so you know, like maybe I will dress it up a little bit with some extra lines, but like to just get that essential aesthetic. Oh, another thing is that, I feel terrible about this because I ruined this book. Another thing I wanted to do before I came up with this Astro Boy thing, I wanted to actually work on some Transformers artwork. Yeah. I have this really awesome book, and I kind of ruined it. So I bought this off of Proto-Man from one of his room parties. This is essentially like the story of like what happens after the movie, I guess. It's kind of broken off, but it doesn't totally make sense. But the art is like very cool. It's very anime-esque. So I figure I would also practice on some of this kind of style a little bit. That'd be fun. But then I found some Astro Boy files, and I figured, okay, maybe I'll just work on some Astro Boy stuff. Because like there's so many characters here, like I just want to work on Astro Boy and Uran, and I don't know, maybe Pluto. But yeah, just like get the Osamu Tezuka characters, get a foundation of that. Here's something I could that may be of interest. So this is one of those Apple chargers, the new kind. This is a 96 watts. I guess the expensive one has a sticker where it's supposed to say Apple for some reason. And so I bought this from my supplier. And the reason I bought this is not that I need one, but it's $25. Did you see that Tezutopia video? No, I didn't. Tezutopia. That sounds cool. Let's find out what that's about. Tezutopia. Teaser trailer. It's a canceled film. Oh. Oh. Is this that Astro Boy series that they were gonna do but never did? No, it's not. Tezutopia is a crossover movie that got shelved, resurfaced recently. Interesting. Okay, here's a trailer. Can I share this? I like the aesthetic. That's cool. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, get out, Kimba. Okay. So yeah, Osamu Tezuka liked to use a lot of his characters in different franchises. No franchises, in different like stories. Like, so all of his characters are essentially actors, and like they will play different characters in another story, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm digging that. Yeah, Osamu Tezuka's a really clever guy that he created. That it just makes absolute sense. If you're going to create a character, he can appear in a different show and not have to be locked into being that same character. He could be somebody else. Like, what's an example? Outside of a Tezuka thing, I can't think of an example. But let's say, for example, if I'm trying to use a Marvel example. I can't. Cool. That's cool. Definitely digging that. Yeah, I guess that was cool. I think I watched that yesterday. Yesterday I watched that. Yeah, it's a good show. Good show. Not the best, but like it's fun. Like, it's absolutely fun show. Definitely a fun show. Worth it if you have some time to spare, but not essential viewing. It was all a lie. That's the video I was watching. So that was the Jim Carrey video somebody made a day ago by Patrick CC, as a matter of fact. And yes, cool documentary. I really love Jim Carrey. Like, anytime I see something with him, I check it out. I listen to his like interviews. Yeah, I love Jim Carrey. He's a really brilliant guy, and really smart guy. And he's from my neck of the woods. Like, dude, he was from like Burlington, like, which is like just west from me. So that's awesome. And then yeah, Toronto, Yuck Yucks, and then yeah, it's cool. It's cool. There's some ties to it. Toronto or that area. So yeah, he really went out all out with his characters, and yeah, worked for him. And when I was a kid, I would see that, his success in his characters, and I would emulate that. And yeah, I am pretty good at imitations, and I do make an effort. I used to stand in front of the mirror and practice all these imitations and things like that. So yeah, definitely spent a lot of time appreciating Jim Carrey. So yeah, definitely a lot of respect to that guy. I hope he has more stuff for me to look forward to. I wish I had more pie. Oh, I do have a bite left. I wish I had a whole more pie though. I already ate the rest of it. Yeah, so Osamu Tezuka, really cool with all of his characters. That they're all not necessarily the same, but they can cross over into the different franchises, but retain their like aesthetic from that previous franchise. I don't know what I was gonna do this stream. I was actually gonna maybe even repair my microphone on stream, but I realized after the fact that I do want to upgrade that to a USB-C, so that if it does come out, it'll just like unplug. But the problem with doing that is that I don't have enough room in the thing, like this socket here for the USB-C. Here it is. It's not big enough for a USB-C, so there goes that. Or I could like file it down, which is like undesirable, but I will have an end cap on it, so you won't necessarily see that. So if I filed that down, see, this side fits in, but like that other side won't fit in. And also there's like a circuit board right there, which I want to have some distance from because it can't touch on the chips. The USB-C actually goes in a little bit deeper. So if I were to put it in like that, it would like knock these things. The mounting holes of the USB-C don't line up on this anyways, so I'm like, okay, well, what the heck? I may as well externalize it. Since I'm making like a back cover for it anyways, I may as well put it out here somehow. But if I want to be able to service this thing, like take it apart again, I don't want to have to desolder these wires, right? So if I'm going to engineer something, it has to be able to be disassembled just as easy, and that's important. And I feel that's important for my transformers. Oh, considering which, like, I do think about, like, I have my own I never went to school for engineering, but like I have my own standard of engineering because I have a lot of experience with consumer products and manufacturing. I have to be able to take apart my transformers, and this guy you can't take apart. It's a little bit upsetting. There's so many pins in this. I get it though, like there's no real other way. There's some schmutz on it. There's no other way to get this guy together without using some pins, because he's so thin and skinny. Like his elbows, look at those tiny pins there. That's kind of necessary. But given he's so small, you can't take him apart now. Like I wanted to paint him, right? So I can't take these things apart. His feet, like, oh, you know what? Forget this side panel here. Like this one here, for example, there's an entry hole for this pin. Where is it? Somewhere here. There's an entry hole for this pin, but there's no exit hole, right? So it goes like straight up, and that's it. So that's not ever coming out, no matter what, unless you break them. And I suppose I could and 3D print another piece. Because, like, what's the difference if I'm just airbrushing it over anyways? But that is that. Like, they're not designed to be taken apart. Okay, let's say they did design it for someone like me who wanted to take it apart and, like, airbrush it. It would definitely be a lot more expensive. They would require more engineering, and it would require more screws and more thought to be put into it. So I guess it would technically be more expensive. Maybe if you think about it. If Transformers wasn't such a successful franchise, maybe a company like Hasbro or Bandai, if they bought out Transformers, maybe they would like give the gimmick on the ability that everything could be disassembled. There are toys that could do that by Takara, like Zoids. I'm pretty sure everything could be disassembled. I guess I'm like one of those kids who likes to take things apart. I take everything apart. I've always been taking everything apart. So yeah. Oh, speaking of taking things apart, I wonder if I could find that. My place is an absolute mess. But Goober asked me to go get something, and I thought I had thrown it out. I swear to God, I thought I threw it out, but I didn't. It's an art project I've been working on since I was 8 years old that I probably shelved when I was like 9, and I never got around back to it. And I found it. I have a Fortress Maximus that I painted like opposite colors, and I didn't know at the time, or maybe I'm not sure. But there is like some kind of blue Metroplex or something like that, Metro type, and maybe I was going for that, but I know I was going for a unique theme. But it does have blue in it. I actually don't know where it is. I have an idea where it is. Maybe I'll get it ready for next time, and then I'll make sure Goober's on stream and show it off. It's also in pieces, so maybe want to put it back together. Or maybe I could just open the box and just say, hey, this is how I left it when I was 8 years old. Metro Titan. Yeah. When did Metro Titan come out? Must be G1. Where is Metro Titan from, anyways?
Who is Metro Titan? Metro Titan is a Decepticon from the Zone portion of Transformers Generation 1 continuity family. As being constructed on Saturn's moon, Titan, Metro Titan, known as Metroplex, is a massive Decepticon warrior commanded by the villainous Violent Jaguar. Am I saying that right? To destroy the Autobots.
Violet Jaeger. I think that's how you say it. Okay, cool. I didn't realize he appeared in Transformers Zone. Continuity. Okay, maybe outside of that short film. OVA, I guess you would call it. So yeah, I guess I know I must have seen that because like that's around the time where I was just crazy all over the internet searching all of these Transformers pictures and stuff. Like, why did I have the urge to paint him so much? Like, I totally, like, out of all of the characters. Yeah. Okay, no, not necessarily Metro Titan. Or maybe I did go for the Metro Titan. But I've painted a lot more than just that. Like, okay. We'll see. Metro Titan is not from the manga. No, sorry, Metro Titan is from the manga, or story pages or something, not in the old Odyssey. Yeah, I'm just wondering like why I would pick Metroplex out of all the characters. I guess because he's the largest. Yeah, and he was the easiest to paint. At the time, I was using like testers paints, and getting detail wasn't that easy. So having a lot of large panels, that's probably why I decided to choose that one. I had some clear paints too. I had one Tamiya paint. I was just understanding what Tamiya was. So when I get a paint like Smoke, I didn't know what that was. It's like essentially that's like if you want to add like smoke damage to whatever you think. So it's like I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell smoke was. I thought it was gonna be like a gray or something like that. But it came out like a clear. I'm like, ah, shit. I thought it was gonna be like a dark gray kind of color. I thought it was gonna be like totally rocking me out of this world with a color, but no, it was just translucent black. Oh yeah, so I'm looking at this Metro Titan on TF Wiki, I guess. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what product image I would have come across back in the day. Probably just the toy image. And all the characters are there, so like Sixgun is like, yeah, different color, blue and gray and black. And then, yeah, all these guys are different. What's this guy? Scamper, and this and the tank is. I used to pride myself with knowing all of these characters, and that's a micro micromaster, kind of micromasters here. I wonder where he's from. Not sure. Could be recolors up there to someone else too. It's cool. I like the colors. I like the blue because it kind of suits that whole like city thing. The red might be too much of a contrast for me, but like I'm sure it works for the kids. Cool. Yeah, I was thinking last minute like, okay, maybe I could just do a stream repairing my microphone, but that's probably like a larger project. I should probably save that for another time. I also wanted to like make a video out of it, like a legit video, because that's something of interest. Also, I was going to make a video on my camera adapter that I've been working on, but I'm going to wait to hear back from the company because I asked them directly. I said, look, I figured out the pinout. I know you want another $100 just for a USB adapter, but just send me the files. So we'll see. I don't want to give them the impression that I'm going to start distributing these files. Like I just want them to give it to me, and then I'll have it, and then I will know what to do with it, and then I can maybe make my own device with that and then sell it. Like already I have this USB device. If I could figure out a way to make it easily accessible, then like there's a $25 product that everybody in the world would need, that's for a product that's been on the market for more than a year. So that's kind of how I win all the time. I fall into this niche, like I find these niches, like something like this. This camera, this company just doesn't want to release it because it's bad for their business model, right? It's better that they sell the accessories, and when one breaks, you have to buy the whole set again. So I find things similar to this where like there's no alternative available on the market, and I create that alternative, whether it's to repair something or to unlock something or to create a product for it. That's the kind of things that I look for, and fall ass backwards into money with that a lot of the time. So, and I don't get tired of what I'm doing. I can move on to the next thing. I'd say I'm done with that. I did it. Don't have to go back to it. Because like the market changes, like next year is going to be a different camera, and like, okay, sure, people are going to be still using this camera and be interested in this product, but by then I'll be tired about it. And yeah, I need to change up what I'm doing every once in a while because I get bored of one thing. So that's my Dr. Arkeville way of going about things. Oh, let's get something playing there. I had some things that I wanted to show. Oh, crush your jaw. There we go. So yeah, Crusher Joe discovered this movie. I forget how I discovered this movie. I've seen it way long time ago, but it has like that tunnel scene in the Transformers movie at the intro there, and yeah, that's like one of those images that have been burned into my memory since I was a kid. I've always wanted to see what inspired that, like where did that come from. I know it's very much like the 2001 Space Odyssey thing where he's going to the Jupiter and you see something like that, but I'm sure there's been other properties that have like also emulated that, and Crusher Joe is definitely one of those. When they go into warp drive, there's definitely something like that. There's another Crusher Joe movie that something similar happens in the warp, and there's another movie. It might be, it's not Pink Crush. I forget what movie it is, but there's another movie out there that has that warp thing, and it's really cool. Blows my mind, and I really love to. Oh, that's another thing on the new Transformers DVD that I got. Where is that? My DVD. Dropping things. Come on. Made in Mexico. That's great. So this one has exactly the warp thing. They did that really well. Did they do that original? Or did they take that from the movie? No, they actually redid it. So that's really cool. So it is a repeated pattern, and it's like it's wrapped around and it's repeated again and again a few times. I've analyzed the shit out of this. So they have successfully done it. They must have actually redone it because it doesn't look like it's too sharp of an image, right? It couldn't have been from the film. So cool. That's what I've always wanted to do. I wanted to be able to make like a flat image that's, you know, that you could repeat and make that pattern with it. It seems like they did. Ah. So cool. I love that. I love that background. Or, yeah, background tunnel thing. So many bumblebees. I have all these bumblebees around me. I have these ones. I have the masterpiece, and I just noticed I have another bumblebee on my shelf hiding with a arrow bar. I bought that for myself for when I get too depressed. I knew I needed one after the that whole fire incident, so I saved that. Left it on the windowsill where it could stay cool. I need a brush because I got some like smoke stuff on this guy. Something. Well, I went offline there. I took his foot off. Of course, I take everything apart. So what I wanted to show you is that there is a piece that's not properly aligned. Come on, focus. Focus, camera, focus. 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 Come on, focus, focus. Autofocus. There we go. Boom. Focus, focus. So, in the middle. Come on, focus, focus. Darn. You have to move, finagle this. Can I get this? No, I cannot. Okay, anyways, let's pretend you could see what I'm trying to demonstrate here. There is a pin that's coming here from the back piece, and it's angled, whoop, at the wrong angle, and it's not going into its hole. It's going in the wrong place. Same thing with the other foot. So I saw that. I'm like, damn, that's an assembly defect. That's not how things are supposed to be. It's supposed to go in that little hole on the right side. Oh, I wish I were LeVar Burton. Oh, okay, so what I'm going to do is, because this, as you can see, that little pokey thing that's poking out, it's not 90 degrees anymore because it was assembled incorrectly in 1984. So this is an original pre-rub. I wanted to show it off because A, it's a pre-rub, and B, the Bumblebee that recently came out there, the Studio Series one, has a little thing on his back. That's where he put his gun. And the Masterpiece has a port on his back as well, and that's for his tire. And I was saying that G1 one also has like a thing on his back. Or I thought it was on his head over here, but it's not. It's on his back right there. There's the tire. So like when you put the head up, it's got a little tire on his back. And yeah, that's kind of what you do with the Masterpiece one. I guess somewhere the tire goes. I guess the tire goes up here. Kind of like that. And then on this one, it goes in the bottom. Studio Series one. If you had one, it doesn't actually come with one, but like presumably, I'll probably just 3D print one just to have that there. And then so I took this screw out because I love things that you can unscrew. It's extremely important to be able to disassemble something in order to do exactly this, to repair it essentially. I'm just going to line this up how it might be in transformation. Yeah, get it right in that hole. Oh my. And that slid right in. I wonder if maybe it was in and then it popped out somehow just from use, because there's only one screw there. Yeah, you know what, it probably was in there after manufacturing and then after use and transforming it correctly because I could see where it might separate. I think just been playing with it, that popped out, and it never had an opportunity to go back in its hole. So that's very cool. I never knew that before. And this one is definitely a little bit damaged in that hole there. So I'm going to do my best. I could use a little bit of heat to help that plastic, but that plastic is so done. That 30, 40-year-old plastic, holy shit, that's 40-year-old plastic. That 40-year-old plastic is done. Like if I were to try and melt that, I wonder if toys manufactured these days, I wonder if its plastic will last as long as, for example, this 1984 Transformer. Okay, let's get some tweezers, I guess, so I can straighten this guy. Toy repair. I should open a toy repair store. That would be a nightmare. Holy cow. Holy cow, customer service would be such a nightmare. Could you believe it? Toy repair. It's not that different from consumer product repair, because gadgets essentially are toys for adults. Your phone, as much as your car, it's a bloody toy for adults. There's no difference. Oh, it's my phone. Oh, are they doing the warp scene? Oh, they're doing the warp scene. They're doing the warp scene. Yeah, it's pretty intense. See, that's how it should be. Like, that's so amazing. That's really cool. Of course he'd be freaking out. Actually, I think that's how Dave was freaking out in the 2001 Space Odyssey movie. He's freaking heck out. Experience like that in space. This is how they should have played it out in the Transformers. They should have been like a scene where they're traveling through space. They still can do that. Pay it off. Pay off that scene. Hasbro somehow write something in there. Oh, speaking of writing, like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. This book, it's so cool. It has so many opportunities to go in so many cool directions, but it's so not good. And I know certain few people who know quite a bit about Transformers who could write a way better story. So that was my first idea, is to like maybe get good at some of these manga style Transformers characters, but then it's kind of like all over the place. Every character has a very different style of being drawn. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick something that I could say I've accomplished sooner. So I have a couple of weeks left of Inktober, and if I could draw an Uran and an Astro Boy with some proficiency, then I could say that I had a successful Inktober. It is 10 p.m. I have the grumblies. I'm going to end the stream. Good show. Thanks for humoring me, everyone. Really appreciate that. Thanks for everyone joining. Ninja, Impactor, Unknown Unpopular User, James. Oh, you guys are great for showing up. Thank you so much. I'm going to a wedding on Friday. That's going to be in Paris, Ontario. I am doing a million things this week between work, my lawyer, getting stuff for my camera, working on art, cleaning my unit, insurance. Oh yeah, I didn't mention I got to pay an extra $26,000 for insurance because deductible doesn't. The deductible from the building went up to $50,000, and our condo insurance doesn't cover that. Only covers up to 25,000. So that extra 25,000 plus our $1,000 deductible has to come from somewhere, and that's a long-term thing. But this week, and then on Monday, there's something else happening. But yeah, going down to, it was probably just some work things that are sort of coming to mind. I'm going down to Paris to a wedding, and then yeah, see you next week, and I'll see you on the internet. That's terrible. Okay, we'll try that again next time. Some outro things. Some outro things. What can I say?
Something come to mind. Next time I'll get better at this. I promise. My characters will be more fluid. There we go.
Thank you guys. Okay, till all are one. Ciao, ciao. How do I end this?
Tesla just released a new $300 wireless charging platform. It's kind of fitting since it was Tesla's namesake, Mr. Nikola Tesla,